Hello and welcome back to Joe's Math Tools. In our session today, we are calculating our equivalent fraction when we're using multiplication. And if you're ready to see how we're going to make these fractions equivalent, let's get started. So in our session today, we are calculating the equivalent form of our fractions. And remember that when you are converting your fraction to their equivalent form, we are using multiplication for this session. So that means that our two fractions need to be equal. Meaning that if I choose to multiply my denominator by one number, my numerator also has to be multiplied by the exact same number. By failing to apply that step to both of your numbers or even multiplying both of your numbers by different numbers, the fraction is no longer equivalent because the value has now been changed or distorted. But we are going to go through our calculations and I'll also show you how you can check your answer afterwards. So let's go. We're using 8 to represent that value that we're unaware of that's in our numerator. So because 3 and 6 are both numbers given in the denominator, I'm going to look at the relationship between 3 and 6 and how we change from 3 to 6 using multiplication. And in knowing your timetable, we know that when 3 is multiplied to 2, this gives us 6. So that means if 3 is being multiplied by 2 in the denominator to get 6, in my numerator, I will also multiply 1 times 2 to give me the value of my unknown variable a, which will equal to 2. Now, after you've applied your multiplication and you've now been given your equivalent fraction, remember that you can always check your answer by going back and also applying your multiplication or division rather to the first fraction to your solution, pardon me, to verify whether your answer is correct. And in most cases, also with these type questions, if it's given to you in this form where you can just write a is equal to 2, that is fine. But remember that in some cases, you will be required to just rewrite the equivalent fraction. So that means that how I'm leaving my answer as 2, you may still have to go back and write that your equivalent fraction is 2 to the 6. So just be careful and pay attention to those little things when you are answering your question. If they're just asking for the variable to be answered, that's fine. But if you're asked to write the question, make sure that you do that as well. So with our fraction 2 to the 6, since I multiplied here, I'm going to be using the opposite operation of multiplication, which is division. And in using my division, I'm now going to divide both parts of my fraction by the number that I multiplied both parts of the other fraction by, just to see if I'm going to get back my original fraction of 1/3. Now when 2 is divided by 2, this will equal to 1 in my numerator. When 6 is divided by 2, this will equal to 3 in my denominator. So you can see that by using division to check my answer, I got back the original fraction that I started with, which tells me that the solution I got of 2, 6, or for my variable to equal to 2, is correct. So let's look at a second example. We have 2/5 equals to b to the 15. Again, we're using multiplication. And I'm looking to see how did I change from 5 to 15, or what number am I multiplying 5 by that will give me 15. And we know that 5 times 3 is equal to 15. So that means I'm going to also multiply 2 times 3, which would give me the solution for my variable b as 6. And again, if you are required to write your fraction over, make sure that you go back and write your 6 to the 15 if that's how you were asked to leave your solution. But I hope this video is very helpful to you. I hope you were able to calculate your equivalent fraction. We do have one more video in this session on multiplying our fractions to make them equivalent. So make sure to check that out, as well as my videos on how to make fractions equivalent when using division. And as always, I'll see you right here in the next video on Joe's Math Tools, where we aim to make math easy.